we are going to commence the program as usual with a recitation from the Quran, and it's going to be recited by Hafiz Ubaid Rahman. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنهر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم.
Jazakallah khairun, beautifully recited by Hafiz Ubaid Rahman. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace and blessings be upon you. Welcome. Delighted to have your company. My name is Ansar Ali. I'm your host here on Salaam Radio for the next hour in conversation with Ansar Ali. And you listen to us on 106.2 FM, online, salamradio.co.uk. You can listen to us on your smartphone as well. Please download our app and you can listen to us anywhere in the world on your smartphone. We're also live on Facebook as well, and a number of other mediums as well that, if I spend some time here telling you, I'll run out of time. But there are various ways that you can listen in to Salaam Radio. You can watch us as well, and it's always good to have your wonderful company. It is Friday, 1st of March 2019 of the Gregorian calendar, and 23rd of Jamadi al-Thani, the 5th month of the Islamic calendar, 1440 of the lunar Islamic calendar. And today, as well as Hafiz Ubaid Rahman, who is a regular reciter and also a volunteer on Salaam Radio, helping on my program. It's very kind of him to make the time for us. We'll be joined by our guest Joel Lammy from the Peterborough Telegraph. He's a journalist with the Peterborough Telegraph, and he'll be joining us very shortly, inshallah. And after Joel, we've got a number of other people. This Sunday, a number of our mosques in Peterborough are opening the doors to everyone from the local communities, Muslims and non-Muslims, everyone welcome. This Sunday, Fazan Medina Mosque, Khatija Mosque and Gausia Mosque are taking part in that Open My Mosque event on Sunday, and we'll have guests from those mosques, inshallah, joining us very shortly on the program. Also, we have a very important guest here at the Iqbal Center for an event that starts at 6 o'clock, and this guest is hoping to arrive a little early to talk to us about himself. He's an author, very well-known, highly respected intellectual, and he's going to talk about Islam and some of his books and how he's been able to basically turn hearts, how he's been able to change people from non-believers to believing, and there is an akhirah and becoming Muslims. So all of that to come here on Salaam Radio. But first, I have once again the great pleasure of welcoming Joel Lammy on Salaam Radio. Good evening, Joel.
Good evening.
And how are you?
Yeah, I'm very good. How are you?
Not too bad, thank you. Well, I won't start with Posh because your prediction didn't quite come true for last Saturday, did it? The bottom team got the better of Posh as well. But never mind. We'll try and get to that a little later if I get a chance. In terms of Peterborough Telegraph, your online edition and your printed version as well, what sort of traction have you been getting on all the stories that you've been featuring? Anything in particular that your readers have been enthused by, interested in?
Well, quite a few different things. I mean, obviously the continuing story about the City MP Fiona Onasanya has continued to sort of get a lot of traction, and she was released from prison on Tuesday. Went to her home in Peterborough. She's not said anything publicly about it, and then didn't turn up to vote in Parliament on Wednesday. So that has sort of continued to dominate in many ways, really, and that is still, gets a lot of reaction from our readers.
Okay, last time we spoke, there was some uncertainty about her appeal hearing. Has things developed? Can you share anything further with us?
Yeah, so the appeal is going ahead, or say the sort of the preliminary appeal is going ahead on March the 5th, so that's Tuesday. Effectively, we believe it may be behind closed doors. So what happens is, effectively, a judge would sort of hear the reasons for the appeal and will decide whether it can go ahead or whether to throw it out. And obviously, if they throw it out, it means, we get a recall petition, and residents here can remove her as the MP. And if it goes ahead, then we have sort of many more months to wait until the appeal gets heard, and delays any potential chance for anyone to remove her for a while.
Okay, so if the appeal is allowed, then we might have much longer wait. But if it's disallowed, then what happens? Just take us through this process that needs to be triggered, basically.
So the way it works, anyone who's convicted of any MP who is given a prison sentence or a suspended prison sentence of up to a year automatically triggers a recall petition. So what happens is, if 10% of their constituents sign this petition, which gets set up across Peterborough, then within 6 weeks, then the MP is removed. The only sort of catch is, if an MP appeals, then the petition doesn't begin until the appeal process ends. But because Fiona Onasanya has appealed, this recall petition can't begin until her appeal has ended, which could be next week, it could be several months down the line. So until we get to that, until that appeal process is finished, we can't really sort of progress very far with what's going on. But once it does end, and if her conviction stands, then quite quickly we could see things moving.
Okay, just on that particular issue, what has been the feeling of your readers, Peterborough constituents of this parliamentary seat, the Peterborough seat? What have people been telling you? I know you've been talking to a lot of people.
Yeah. Oh, it's interesting. We've had the odd letter sent in to us, which sort of maybe doesn't defend her actions, but sort of says, let her sort of carry on and forgive. But the vast majority is all being anger, really, anger that she's still there, anger that she hasn't resigned, is continuing to get her salary. It's a very substantial salary, and we can't really see what she's doing to earn it. Never mind her conviction, she's not voting. We don't know how much interaction she's having with constituents. People are not happy about the situation in the slightest.
Okay, we'll move on to another something else now. So we covered that. Anything else in particular? There's always stuff about education, about crime. These are sort of things that you cover quite widely. Anything of any significance that you covered over the past couple of days that you want to share here on Salaam Radio, please?
I mean, we have many have gone on today. The sort of top of the website right now is a court case from my colleague Stephen about cannabis growers who are going to be deported. Their factories in Peterborough were raided. There are 2 Albanians. Their plants were worth tens of thousands of pounds. They were employed as gardeners at the 2 farms where the raids were carried out. So as I said, both will be given jail sentences, and both, as they were here legally, will be deported once their jail sentences are finished. So that one's online now. You can sort of read the full copy of that on our website. Is one. Another one has just gone up literally this minute. If you were to, any of your listeners were just to click on now, there's a Peterborough man has been found guilty of historical sexual assaults. He worked at a care home for vulnerable adults, although it's worth pointing out the abuse didn't take place there. So that is literally a sort of a breaking story, which has sort of come in the last 10 minutes as well.
Okay, thank you for that. And in terms of, we had this big story last week. We discussed this as well. Peterborough, worst place to live in. Has there been any further reaction? What has the city? How has the city responded to that?
Well, a lot. We've had a lot of. We as a paper and then outside have had a lot of reactions. So, sort of just covering the outside reaction. It was one of the key debating points at the City Council's cabinet meeting on Monday. We've had the former leader of the council, John Peach, writing into us again, sort of defending Peterborough and highlighting sort of how the city centre has improved quite a lot since then. But even looking through our columns in yesterday's PT, which were largely going online over the weekend, everyone seems to be mentioning it. It sort of all seems to be what everyone's talking about. Is this article, this survey, which got featured nationally? It's remarkable. So it's been there for a week now, and it's still.
It seems as though that it really has united Peterborough in the condemnation of how dare someone paint such a negative picture of our wonderful city.
Yes, I think people have. Not everyone. Let's be clear. There are some who
agree with the findings.
Yeah, or if maybe not agreed, on massive defenders of Peterborough, but I think the majority seem to say, look, we've lived in other cities. Peterborough is at least no worse than other cities we lived in, or other towns or towns, and they're quite. They don't really believe what they've read. To be honest, looking through that website, we did have a look through it. It literally is just a website which picks out places and then just sort of writes articles about them in very sort of nasty, unpleasant language. So personally, we didn't think it was worth taking that seriously, but because it got picked up by the national newspapers and others then read it, it seems to have gained a lot more attention than it deserves, I'd say.
Okay, and we're going to move on next in terms of looking at sports as well. Very high-scoring one-day international, the last one, England in West Indies. I saw that last over by Adil Rashid. It was remarkable, wasn't it? We at one time, if you were watching, I thought that that innings of Gales might take West Indies through to win that game, but England, in a very high-scoring game, managed to defend their total of 418, only just.
Yeah, I got home and had a chance to turn on. They've just taken the third wicket, England, and the fourth one followed 2 balls later. And I turned on, the first ball went for Hetmar, hit it for 6 in his innings. Second ball got caught, and I thought, 4 down, still, nearly 200 runs needed. England should be okay here. And then I kept thinking, just about okay. And then suddenly with about 5 overs to go, and Brathwaite and Nurse going hard, I thought England were going to lose. Their bowling was very, very sloppy. They were bowling not to their field at all. There was no slower balls or anything. I didn't think the ground fielding was really poor, and I just thought they seemed not to be here at all. And I think incredibly, as you say, all those runs scored and then 4 wickets in and over. It's just, you can't really get your head around it sometimes, can you?
What I found quite interesting was that I don't think that ground was particularly small. But, when they were hitting these sixes, they appeared to be effortless.
Yeah.
Out of the ground,
Yeah, there are some. With most grounds, there tend to be some parts which are small and some parts which are a little bit longer. Yeah, it didn't strike me as particularly any smaller than most other grounds, and yet it kept flying out.
Okay, Joe, we're running out of time.
Those things,
We've got to talk about Posh. What's happening, mate? What's happening? Come on, people are quite concerned about our football club, change of manager, etc. And very quickly, just tell us, can we see Posh getting in the playoffs this season?
Yes, but they had to keep 11 players on the pitch. They were 1-0 up when player got sent off at the weekend. They've had, I think, 4 players in the last, 7 games, or just over, maybe slightly more, who've been sent off.
Okay.
I think all in the first half of matches. You don't really give yourself much of a chance if you keep doing that. if they can keep their players on the pitch, I mean, they've got a very set of winnable fixtures in March. I mean, I know we keep saying that, but there's no reason.
Well, you said that last week. You said Shrewsbury should be okay. Well, there you are. Okay. I don't know how to take your prediction, Joel. I don't know. But thank you very much. Really been a pleasure talking to you.
It's a hope.
The confidence, that you had last week. I don't know, Joel. Okay, never mind.
Well, you can't bank on your striker getting sent off in the first half.
Absolutely. All right. Good to talk to you, Joel. The next time I will speak to you here on Salaam Radio will be on the 3rd of May. I'm taking some time off, okay? So have a nice break, and we'll talk to each other on the 3rd of May, hopefully.
Yes, I look forward to it.
All right, looking forward. Take care. Thank you very much indeed for your time. Have a nice weekend.
You too.
Okay, thank you very much. We got our next guests coming in as well. It's a busy program. If we can have them in here, please, that would be good. Our next guests are going to be talking about Mosque Open Day on Sunday. Our local mosques are participating in this national initiative, and I'm pleased to say that we've got representatives of two of our mosques here. I did invite the third one as well, but they haven't quite made it as yet. But hopefully someone from Gosia Mosque will also join us in due course. If not, we'll tell you about them as well anyway. We know they're opening their doors to the general public on Sunday. It is my great pleasure to welcome the two people, gentlemen I have sitting on the other side of the desk, are no strangers to Salaam Radio or to the Peterborough community. First, let me welcome Abdul Muqaddas Chowdhury. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
From Faizan Medina, chairman of the management committee there. And we also got the media person from Khatija Masjid Islamic Center as well. Amir Sulaiman. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Well, thank you very much, gentlemen, for making the time. I know you're very busy planning for Sunday. It does take a lot of effort, and you need all the hands on the deck that you can get. So thank you for coming. Sunday, you've been having these for a few years now, the open days, and they always prove to be success.
That's right. That was the whole purpose. And we are pleased that our open days, which we're having more or less twice a year, have been very successful. And that was our purpose. Our purpose was to making the non-Muslim aware about Islam, Islamic teaching, and the teaching of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him.
Absolutely. Very important, isn't it, in the current climate, Amir?
It really is. You mentioned the current climate, and things aren't getting any better, quite frankly. And I think initiatives like this, and I'm really pleased to see more masajid joining this year. Yeah. It's really important. I think this initiative will only do good. It's certainly not going to be any detrimental effect to this. It will only be a positive thing. And what we want is people, the Joe public, to come in off the street. And it's great we have support from VIPs and NHS and council workers who always support us every year. But to get the Joe public in, who have never really been inside a mosque, and ask any questions they like, I think that's really powerful.
And in terms of your congregation, I heard the announcement made today as well, and these announcements being made. What are you saying to the members of the congregation? How can we get those ordinary members of the public, people who live next door to us, we work with, we associate with? How do we? What are they doing to encourage them to come?
Yeah, that was the whole purpose of making an announcement to our mosque, to tell our congregation, our people, to invite their neighbors, invite people they work in their offices, invite people who work in factories, wherever they are working, takeaways, taxis, to invite them and tell them that this is what we're having. Why are we having it? That's the question. As you know, Islam is one of the religion which is very badly misunderstood by many non-Muslims for various reasons. Some obviously is due to ignorance, and some are, I will say, deliberately people don't want to understand it, and they just want to believe whatever they read in the newspaper or whatever they see on the television. So our purpose is, and I'm pleased that we're all doing together, and purpose not only for Faizan Medina but all the mosques who are doing such program, is to making people aware what Islam is, what is the teaching of Islam, what is the teaching of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and that is the purpose. And we all know that there are many people, non-Muslim, they never have put a foot inside the mosque. They don't know what his mosque looks like, what the people are doing in the mosque. And our purpose is to show them around our mosque. It's a peaceful religious place. Not just like they go to the churches or synagogues, wherever. Mosque is a peaceful place where people come and pray. And what they pray? Again, peace, harmony, friendship, relationship, good relation. That's what we teach them. That's what we tell them. And when the people, non-Muslims, come in, and we have many school visits, you say, from primary school to 16 years plus others, you say, and many other
University of the third age and, Women's Institute, yes.
Not only schools and colleges, but also other members of the communities. Last year we had a police officer from Czech Republic. 16 of them came to just see the mosque. So the whole purpose of them is to making them aware what Islam stands for. What is the teaching of Islam? And they totally misunderstood, as I mentioned earlier on, when they see one or two terrorists doing something else, they think all the Muslims are terrorists. And our message is peace and harmony, friendship. Try to be, good to each other. It's a good for community relation. It's good for cohesion, or the multi-religious, and all these things. You say.
Everyone living in harmony, in peace,
so we live
respecting each other.
And I'm pleased to say this one. The response we get from all the visitors is very, very positive. And everyone says this sort of thing. Oh, we didn't know that one. How this is what Islam is. We didn't know about these things. So this is making them aware of all these things.
Absolutely. Hold that thought. Amir, in terms of getting the message across, I know you've been busy on social media. You got posters, etc. Sending emails, etc. What more are you doing to get that message to ordinary general public, non-Muslims? Come on, the mosque is open to you. Come in. Everyone is welcome. It's the house of God. No one's turned away. They can all welcome. So in terms of making that effort yourself, the mosque committees, etc., congregation members, what are you doing to get the message across in your neighborhoods?
Yeah, so we are using sponsored posts on social media. So we pay for these posts so they reach a wider audience. And historically, that's worked really well because people who don't even know our mosque exists or any of the particular mosques get to know about these open days and they come in. And then secondly, as Uncle Muqaddas Chowdhury said, is we also speak to people one-to-one and invite our friends, family, colleagues, neighbours, anyone that we can reach out to personally and invite them. We find that works better than just dropping flyers. We do that as well, but it's just making aware people that there is this event. I'll go a bit further as to what was said earlier on as well, is that it's important that we deliver that message of what true Islam is. But a step further than that is we want to show people that we are humans just like them. So people see us, the ignorant, frankly, see us as different. But we might have a different faith, but we have so much in common.
Yeah, absolutely.
The films we watch, the TV shows, the sports teams, whatever it might be, hobbies, cars, whatever, they've got so much in common that we can forge friendships from. And we just want people to understand that.
And it's really all about, knowing your neighbor, understanding and respecting, because we've got wonderful diversity in this great city of Peterborough, although it's been knocked a bit over recently, but generally speaking, I've lived here for almost 50 years. It's a fantastic place to live, bring up a family, work, and we want everyone to get on well together, Muslims and non-Muslims as well.
That's right. That is the whole purpose. So it's not just visit my mosque and open days as well. We do various other things as well. I mean, like we had a seminar in November at Jackson School, which was well attended, well over 400 people attended. Again, it's the same message we're passing on to everybody else, that Islam is a religion of peace. Islam is a religion of harmonious relationship with your neighbors, with your communities, with everybody else. What is the teaching of Islam?
Absolutely. And so often I hear people, I come across some non-Muslims, they say that sometimes the neighbors don't communicate. They don't, we don't, now we got third, fourth generation. The language is not a barrier anymore.
That's right.
They speak the language as well. So how are you encouraging people that, having that line of communication with your next door neighbor as a good Muslim, sharing a plate of rice, plate of biryani is a good thing to do. That gives you an opportunity to talk, have a conversation.
Absolutely right. And I think we do have good relationships with neighbours, and personally speaking, there's been instances where when I approach them about a mosque open day, they raise their eyebrows that how would someone like me be involved with a mosque? Because they see me as a normal neighbor and they don't see me as a Muslim. But then when you begin to explain to them what your faith means to you, then they're intrigued. And my neighbors have visited a couple of years ago the open mosque day, and that was an enlightening experience for them.
Okay, finally, we're running out of time as well. A message to our listeners from the chairman of Faizana Medina Masjid for this open day. How can they support this event?
Well, only way they can support is come along and see us. Come along, visit the mosque. That's what is open invitation. They have to register. They don't have to book. Just come along between hours of 1 and 6 or 1 and 5, whatever the slight different hours are. Come along. Whichever mosque is near to you. There are 4 mosques in Peterborough. They are organizing this program. So come along, visit us, ask us a question. Whatever is, without any hesitation, whatever is on your mind, we will not be offended. You come, be free, be frank, ask us a question. We'll be delighted to welcome you. There will be refreshment available as well, so they can enjoy the refreshments at the same time.
Thank you. Well, Amit, last word from you.
Just echo the comments, exactly the same. But we're open 11 till 5. Drop in any time, and a friendly, welcoming atmosphere is promised.
Wonderful. Mosque Open Days, 4 mosques in Peterborough participating. Just walk in, everyone welcome. My thanks to Abdul Muqaddas Chaudhry from Faizana Medina Masjid and Amir Suleiman from Khatija Masjid Islamic Centre, and Gausia Masjid and Burton Street Mosque are also having open days. Back with you in a couple of moments time, inshallah.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after this short ad break.
The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Among the best deeds are to feed the poor and the deserving." By the end of this message, 6 people will have died of starvation. With your help, we can deliver life-saving aid. Just £1 can provide a life-saving meal for someone in desperate need with Penny Appeal's Feed Our World program. Call 03000 11 11 11 now or visit www.pennyappeal.org. Penny Appeal. Small change, big difference.
Peterborough just got a whole lot tastier. Five Lads Flame Grilled Peri Peri Chicken is now open. Bring your family and friends to Peterborough's first HMC meat-selling restaurant. We are experts in grilled chicken, lamb chops and gourmet lamb and beef burgers. Our healthy options include fresh salads and fresh grilled vegetables. Fresh, clean and healthy grilled food with 4 different flavours. Lemon and herb, medium, hot and extra hot. 5-star hygiene rating. Eat in, order and collect, or order for delivery on Deliveroo. Follow 5 Lads Peterborough on Facebook and Instagram 5 Lads. 15 Cowgate, Peterborough, PE1 1LZ. Call 01733 56 22 87. Open 7 days a week, 12 to 11 p.m.
Al Murad Tiles. With over 70 stores nationwide, we are now open in Peterborough. Up to 50% discount offers now on. Largest selection of tiles. Full bathroom suites from only £189. Paint, LED lighting, laminate flooring from only £7.99. Over 1,000 designs of wallpaper in stock. We have everything you need. Come and visit us at 193 Fengate, Peterborough, PE1 5BH, or call us on 01733 34 58 47. Al Murad Tiles, now open.
Had a car accident or an accident at work? Accident specialists are experts in no-win, no-fee accident claims. Leave the hassle to us. Our multilingual settlement experts will manage the entire claims process on your behalf, with nothing to pay up front. We provide services such as credit hire, taxi vehicles, recovery, storage and much more. For full details on our range of services and a free consultation, call us on 01733 555 774 or visit our office at 249 Lincoln Road opposite the NatWest Bank. Accident Specialists. Start your successful claim today.
Feel like some great tasting chicken tonight? Great meal deals, wraps, burgers and sides. We've got it all at Chicken Palace. Call and collect at 302 Lincoln Road on 01733 702 447 or 8 Park Road on 01733 34 3750. Chicken Palace, open 11 a.m. till late.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Al-Qari'ah, Mal-Qari'ah. وما أدراك ما القارعة يوم يكون الناس كالفراش المبثوث وتكون الجبال كالعهن المنفوش فأما من ثقلت موازينه فهو في عيشة راضية وأما من خفت موازينه فأمه هاوية وما أدراك ما هي نار حامية.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the second half of the program. We hope to be joined by a very special guest who's coming to the Allama Iqbal Center to give a talk and also to do a book launch as well. And there's going to be some selected reading as well, and conversation, book signing. And the guest is a very well-known author, Michael Haroon Sugish, and he'll be here soon. He's coming here at the invitation of Futuwa Initiative of Peterborough. And that program at the Allama Iqbal Center starts at 6 o'clock. So if you want to come here to listen to him, please do come along. The book reading will start at 6:25. There'll be some conversation. And Heart's Turn, that's what the title is called. Sinners, Seekers, Saints, and the Road to Redemption. It promises to be a fantastic event here at the Allama Iqbal Center. Starts at 6 o'clock. And we're hoping that the guest speaker, he's an author, very well known, Michael Haroon Sugish, will be joining us, inshallah, before the end of the program, so we can find out more about his writing. Ubaid, assalamu alaikum to you. How are you?
Alhamdulillah.
Good to have you on the top of the program, reciting the Quran as well. Lovely to listen to you.
Jazakallah.
You enjoyed that, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
How's school? How's school?
School's brilliant. It's been, alhamdulillah, everything's good.
Going well, yeah? Okay, while we're waiting for our guest, we're going to have a listen to a Qawwali. But before I go into that, I'm sure that you're well aware that this is my last program for about 2 months. I'll be back with you, inshallah, on the 2nd of May. But in the meantime, we have a young man. Oh, yes, he turned up late last week. He wants to recite a Naat. Come a bit closer. He's a bit breathless at the moment. Let him catch his breath. We are delighted to have him here. Come forward, young man. Come forward towards the mic. What's your name?
Muhammad Hasib.
Assalamu alaikum, Hasib.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Are you well?
Ji.
Are you ready to start reciting the Naat?
Ji, in a minute.
Okay, in a minute, alright? You want a bit of a breather? Okay. Yeah. Muhammad Hasib will be joining us very shortly. He's going to recite a Naat, inshallah. But in the meantime, just remember also and make dua for the safe journey and wish him Umrah Mubarak. Our good colleague, our technical wizard, our station manager, Qasim Mahmood is going for Umrah, inshallah, in a couple of days' time to the holy places, to the holy land, and we ask him to make dua for all of us, inshallah, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept all his praise, all his worship, his umrah, and accept his du'as for himself, his family, and indeed, above everything else, for all of us here in Peterborough and beyond, and the ummah. So we wish Qasim all the very best umrah mubarak, and we hope to see him back, inshallah, looking after Salaam Radio in a couple of weeks' time as well, his last program today as well. And I think Muhammad Hasib is ready now. Yes? Okay, you got a couple of minutes to recite your Naat. Come forward a little bit. That's it. Bismillah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم एक दफ़ा दुरूद शरीफ सल्लल्लाहु अलैका या रसूल अल्लाह व सल्लम अलैका या हबीब अल्लाह तेरे सदके में आका सारे जहां को दीन मिला बेदीनों ने कलमा पढ़ा पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूर मुहम्मद सल्लल्लाह पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह सिमत नबी बू जहल गया आका से उसने कहा, गर हो नबी बतलाओ जरा, मेरी मुट्ठी में है क्या। आका का फरमान हुआ और फजल रहमान हुआ, मुट्ठी से पत्थर बोला पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूर मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाह पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। अपनी बहन से बोले उमर, ये तो बता क्या करती थी, मेरे आने से पहले क्या चुपके पढ़ती थी। बहन ने जब कुरान पढ़ा, सुन के कलाम पाके हुदा, दिलिए उमर का बोला उठा पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूर मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाह पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। वो जो बिलाले हबशी है, सरवर्दी का प्यारा है, दुनिया के हर आशिक की आंखों का वो तारा है। जुल्म हुए कितने उन पर, सीने में रखा पत्थर, फिर भी लब पे जारी था पढ़ो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह हस्बी रब्बी जल्लल्लाह माफी कल्बी गैरुल्लाह नूर मोहम्मद सल्लल्लाह ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह।
MashaAllah, MashaAllah, beautiful. I know you came last week after the program. Muhammad Asif, thank you very much. MashaAllah, very nice. Come forward a little bit again. You're a bit too far now. Which school do you go to?
Jackan School.
Jackan School. And which madrasa do you go to?
Fazan Medina.
Fazan Medina. And do you enjoy studying and learning to recite the Naats and the Sheeds?
Yeah, I like to study and learn. The much more you learn, the more you get close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. And how is school, Jackan, for you?
Very good.
You enjoy it?
Yes.
Okay, and what do you want to be when you grow up?
A barrister.
Sorry?
A barrister.
A barrister. Alhamdulillah, mashallah. Best of luck to you. Do you have 2 minutes of another Naat that you want to recite for us? Can you do that?
Okay, I want to let me think.
Okay, think about it, because I think it was so good and you made all this effort. So if you want to have another 2 minutes here on Salaam Radio. Sorry?
On your phone, that if you can search, then
okay, that no, we'll actually another time, inshallah. When we're back next time, we can do that as well.
I know some Naats, but then at home I got like a book.
You got a book at home? Okay, yeah, that's fine. Memorizing all of them can be a bit difficult. But Muhammad Asif, thank you very much indeed. Stay right where you are. No, you don't have to rush out. Okay. We're going to play a Qawwali next year, and then inshallah we'll have the Azan as well, okay? Well, I might have to pause this for a little while because we've got Azan coming up next, inshallah. You are listening to Salaam Radio with me, Ansar Ali. Delighted to have your company. Qasim is going for Umrah, his last program today. I'm going to take a bit of a break for 2 months. We'll be back with you, inshallah, on the 3rd of May. But Salaam Radio is here for you to enjoy because there's plenty always for you. Make Salaam Radio your number one choice for listening, inshallah. And like I said, we've got more guests, and I've got that Qawwali to play for you as well before too long. So I will be playing that for you. But coming up next here on Salaam Radio is the call to prayer. It is the Salatul Maghrib Azan that's coming up
You're
next,
listening
inshallah.
to Salaam Radio, and it's now time for Maghrib Azan. This Azan is sponsored by UK Islamic Mission, serving humanity since 1962.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدًا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله
الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم وبارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب هذه الدعوة التامة والصلاة القائمة آت محمدا الوسيلة والفضيلة وابعثه مقاما محمودا الذي وعدته. اللهم آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم بك نحيا وبك نموت وإليك المصير. رضينا بالله ربا وبالإسلام دينا وبمحمد صلى الله عليه وسلم نبيا ورسولا.
Broadcasting 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. This is Salaam Radio.
Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Salaam Radio with me, Ansar Ali. Delighted to have your company. Our guest has arrived. I'm so grateful that he's been able to make some time to come early to the Iqbal Center. He's got an event here at 6 o'clock. and we're going to have a conversation with him. Michael Haroon Sugesh, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
And how are you? How was the journey to Peterborough?
It was very easy and pleasant.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. It's a beautiful trip.
Absolutely. Peterborough is a nice place to be in as well.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt.
We'd like to have you here again.
Thank you.
You know, just tell us what the purpose of your visit here today.
Well, I'm giving a reading of a book that has just come out that I've written called Heart's Turn, and it's an exploration of the idea of tawbah. And the reason that I wrote the book was I saw that many young people feel a little bit insecure about their position with God and in the world, and they feel guilty that they may have done wrong things or sinned or something like this. And the idea really behind the book was to show that I'll use the hadith.
At any time.
You can repent it, and it's a constant process.
Yeah.
The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, I make tawbah 70 times a day. So this indicates a kind of constant turning of the heart. And the word for the translation of tawbah is repentance, which has a kind of forbidding, puritanical finality about it. But in fact, tawbah means to turn or to return. And Allah is at-tawwab, the oft returning. So it's this constant turning of the heart that's part of our religion. And so I've explored this through many different stories of people who've been anything from a criminal to a very pious Muslim who have gone through a period of turning away from one thing or another. And the stories are very different. Some of them are funny, some of them are serious, some of them are quite moving.
So you captured different emotions of individuals, of us as human beings.
Absolutely. And I've tried to make it as contemporary as possible, but at the same time what I've done is I've included ancient stories from the text, because if you look at the tabaqat of the spiritual biographies of Muslims, which was a very strong tradition until the last 100 years or so, where we've lost that tradition, many of them are stories of tawbah. So you had great awliya, great saints, who did terrible things, and then they made tawbah and became great pious people.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And in terms of your own experience, no doubt, as you said, that you captured the emotions of a lot of people who had sinned and probably felt that they are beyond
redemption. Yes.
Redemption.
Exactly.
And you were able to talk to them. You know, what sort of process does one go through when you start to reflect? You realize that you need to make that change.
Yes, well, I think that it's different for everyone, but there are common threads in these stories. One is the recognition of death. I have a friend who's a very well-known psychiatrist, a Muslim psychiatrist, and I asked him what the primary cause of insanity was, and he said to me, and this surprised me, he said, denial of death. So many of the people that have gone through a profound change have, in one way or another, confronted death. You know, they've realized that their life in this world is limited. So I think that's one common thread. But everyone has different experiences, and that's what the book is about. I mean, we have one of the stories involves a man who was a gangster who became a Muslim.
I was going to ask you that, actually.
He was a hardened gangster and became a Muslim. He's a wonderful man. And after he became a Muslim, he went around in his area and asked all the people that he'd hurt to forgive him.
Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar. And he's a playwright. now, and there's a playing in London right now called There Is a Field that he wrote. It's a brilliant play. I saw it. It's playing in at Theatre 503 from the 20th of February, which is past, to the 16th of March in Battersea, and it's an exploration of extremism in a working class environment, and it's actually very funny as well as being very serious. So it's a great play. But anyway, he's one of the subjects of the book. Another subject is a man who's a very famous musician, British musician named Danny Thompson. Danny Thompson is considered to be one of the finest stand-up bass players in the world today, and he became a Muslim. And we follow his story. And there are stories of women. One of the women is a very fine psychologist, and she's from Bangladesh, and that story follows her kind of spiritual transformation. So.
In terms of your own experience, I mean, how do you find these people? Do they find you?
Well, in some cases they find me. In other cases, I knew them. Some were friends, and I knew that they had interesting stories. Ironically, there were 3 stories that inspired me to write the book, and I really wanted to tell those stories, and none of them are in the book. And one of them was for the story of Peter Sanders, who's a wonderful, our greatest photographer, a Muslim photographer. And he told me this story like 40 years ago, and it was such a great story. And I wrote it, and it was the most beautiful story. And I showed it to him. He said, well, that's very nice, but none of that happened. So I got it completely wrong, so I had to take it out.
But it's all experience, isn't it, really? It's going through all these... Yeah, I mean, I think finally I have to ask you that in terms of reflecting, in terms of these people, you talked about the gangster, the musician.
Right.
It is about how we are serving humanity, isn't it, really?
Yes.
Our interaction with other human beings.
Right.
Are we becoming role models for good? Because quite often I hear, when there are conflicts, etc., that quite often when there are people being killed, that we said that it's an example of human beings inhuman to fellow human beings.
Yes, and I think in fact the core lessons are very human lessons that you can take from this. That people become more human and rather than less. And I mean, extremism is a big problem we're all facing today, and you need to take it down to a human level. One of the people was the first story in the book, in fact, is about a man who went through all sorts of changes, and one of them was he became a communist, Fidelista. Wow. He fought with Fidel Castro, and he said that he felt that his generation, their attraction to violence was really very similar to the attraction that extremists have to violence today. That instead of believing in something, they do something because they can carry a gun. That's why what's propelling them. It's not the religion itself or the ideology or whatever.
I mean, I could talk to you all evening, really, because I find the conversation so fascinating. We're running out of time, Brother Michael Haroon Sugit. But people listening to Salaam Radio at this moment in time, some may be aware of this event that's taking place just after 6 o'clock. You're here at the Iqbal Center as well.
Right.
Those who probably may not know about this event organized by our Fatuwa initiative, what message do you have for them in order for them to come here and benefit from it?
Well, drop everything you're doing, change all your plans, and get in your car and come over here.
And you will find the evening most fascinating. And,
it should be fun.
It should be fun. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Whenever we do an activity, we've got to make it fun.
Exactly. That's what we try to do.
It really has been a pleasure.
It's
Thank
a pleasure.
you very
My
much.
pleasure
Welcome
is
to
mine.
Peterborough. And
Thank
we
you.
hope that you have a wonderful evening here
Thank
in
you,
Peterborough.
sir.
I've got a couple of things to do before I end the program. Just a reminder once again, Heart's Turn is an event that where Brother Michael Haroon Sugish, my guest who I've just been talking to, is speaking at the Allama Iqbal Centre at 6 o'clock. Please do come along, because I found the conversation very fascinating. There's more to come. If you come here, just drop everything, as he said, and listen to him. You'll find it extremely interesting. Cancer screening program, the last one in this series at Masjid Gausia, Peterborough, on Sunday at 1:45. Everyone welcome. Local doctors have organised that event. Please do go along to Gausia Mosque on Sunday at 1:45 and benefit from that. 4 of our local mosques in Peterborough are participating in Visit My Mosque events on Sunday. They have all got their doors open. Please invite your neighbours, your colleagues, your friends. Any non-Muslim is welcome, and Muslims are welcome as well. But the important thing is to show non-Muslims what we do in the mosque, what Islam is all about. It's so important for us as Muslims to share our beautiful religion, and we sometimes neglect our responsibilities. Great opportunity for you to bring your non-Muslim friends to your local mosque on Sunday. 4 of our local mosques are participating in that event. Mehfil Qawwali, Saturday 13th of April 2019 at the Glaston Park Community Centre. Tickets from Ijaz 07852 685 851, I should say. That's all from me. I value your company as always. I'm going to take a bit of a break for the next 2 months. Remember me in your du'as. I thank my guest for this evening. Allah Hafiz.
Stay tuned to Salaam Radio after